That is actually not a bald eagle call you're hearing. Definitely not a bald eagle. Today we're going to talk about sea lions and bald eagles. You heard some bald eagle sounds a minute ago and some not so bald eagle sounds. This is a common sight if you ever go out to the furthest point in the Pacific Northwest in the contiguous United States. We're not quite at Cape Flattery, as I said in another video, but you see bald eagles like this on the top of masts all the time. It's a common sight. My shaky cam is unfortunately also common. As I'm zooming in with my camera, I need to employ my camera stand so we improve things a little bit. But yeah, you see a younger bald eagle on the right and an older one on the left there. And here you see the whole family taking the flight together. Couple bald eagle adults plus a younger one. It's hard to point them out specifically since they all keep changing who's on what side of the camera. But they're having some fun. That's cool. They just touched right there while flying, so that's pretty neat. Here's another younger one flying overhead, so you can see his wings. And then you can see a couple of them hanging out on the beach as well. These are mostly all different bald eagles. They're not all the same ones, although I'm sure it is difficult to tell. And here we have our sea lion, who it's hard to tell whether the fish is already dead or not, but they can't chew, so they have to whip it around, rip it into pieces to eat it that way. And sometimes if they catch something, they have to incapacitate it by whipping it around like that. So right now the sea lion's coming up to the water a bunch of times and tossing it around, which looks kind of cool. And yeah, so they're swimming up and down, doing a bit of fishing. They're still in the marina right now. I mean, these are the same. There we go. He just threw the fish across the water there. That was pretty cool. These things are huge. You can tell it's a sea lion and not a lion because, again, they have that protruding forehead and that protruding nose. So it's a little easier to tell. I think there's somebody way in the background there too. It's hard to tell though. But these guys are huge, and they were right next to me, so it actually makes me a little nervous. I mean, if one of them popped up behind me and decided to pull me under, that'd be it. But fortunately, they don't do such things. Sea lions, as long as you keep your distance, it's no problem. And you get to see them quite often way out there in Neah Bay. If you ever want to go to the tippy top most Pacific Northwest point of the United States, of course not counting Alaska, because that's way up there. But you can see it's an older one. That brown spot on the top of their head, again, is a sign that they're an elder. They have all that fish hunting wisdom they've developed over the years. And these guys have been out in the marina for quite a while now. You can go out there and see them all the time. And sometimes you can hear them as well. They sound a lot different than other seals and so on. But, so that's kind of fun. But yeah, they're just right out in front of me. So this is like the closest I've ever been to a sea lion that's actually active. And there he is again. They're chunky boys. Doing their little fishing. And they get a lot of free fish around Neah Bay. They do their own hunting as well, as you can see, but they get a fair amount of free fish from the fishermen, because fishing is pretty much year-round out in Neah Bay. So there's always a lot of sea lions and bald eagles around. But you can definitely see that their face is much different than other regular seals, harbor seals. And here we get a way better picture of some of these bald eagles that hang out on top of the poles in the marina. When I was taking photos or video with my phone before, the quality was not quite as good. But here you can see that it's a lot better. You can see each individual feather. And there you get the wider shot of the beautiful marina. It's a nice area for sure. I mean, on a nice day you can get all kinds of great filming. All the seagulls are there trying to get the scraps from the sea lion. who's swimming up and down. There's at least 2 of them. There's 2 that you see regularly. If there's more than that, I'm not sure. And now we have some video of the tree behind the marina, where there's always bald eagles hanging out, and we get a lot better shot of their feathers, which I think is nice. Because with my phone, there's no way I would be able to get a shot like this. And he's preening right now, doing a little bit of cleaning of his feathers so he can fly better. It's a thing birds have to do. Sometimes they have to rinse themselves off in fresh water so they can fly better, especially if they've spent a lot of time in salt water. I think it weighs them down a bit or something. But, you know, you can get that real close-up view of their head and their eyeball. And the bald eagles, you can't really tell now, but they actually have 3 eyelids. They have one eyelid that they use just when they are, you know, diving to catch prey in order to protect their eyes. If you lost an eye in the forest, that'd be pretty much it. But yeah, you can see a few bald eagles here, at least 3 in the tree there. And there's probably more that we just can't see from this angle. But, you know, so that's a pretty fun thing. Out in Neah Bay, you can always see bald eagles all the time, year-round. I think because the fishing's easy for them, they don't always go up north like some bald eagles do, depending on where they're at. So there's a couple. And you can see that they're looking towards the water, right? I mean, they're really always hunting. They're just observing the water and looking for the next little fish to find that's out there. So this guy's still preening. He's taking a little break from hunting and cleaning himself up a bit so he looks snazzy. And there's a younger bald eagle again with a lot more white on his body and doesn't have a white head yet. But there's a bunch of bald eagles in that tree, but they're a little camouflaged. And but you can see, so that one right there, when they have the full white head right like that, you know they're at least 5 years old. So they have some experience. And I don't know if you can see it here, but there's a little crab that's trying to hide from me. Oh, now it got blurry. There you go. There's a little claw there. He ran in there. I was a little too slow. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. More coming soon.